So today, the Internet Computer ICP price still continues to be taking a hit, and we are right now essentially dumping back towards the downside. So in this video, we'll be talking about the important price levels to account for, what we can expect for ICP in the next couple of hours or days, and most importantly, one shocking realization I have had for ICP in the daily time frame. And this is where things start to get a bit concerning for ICP, and that is why I'm really excited to discuss the recent price action of Internet Computer with you guys and talk about essentially everything you need to know for ICP. So right now we'll be starting in the daily time frame, and then later on in the video we'll be moving to the longer weekly time frames to discuss my outlooks. But as you guys can see right now, for the Internet Computer ICP price, we are still dumping back towards the downside. Now, the reason why we're dumping, we have already talked about this in my previous ICP video, but let me discuss this again. The reason why we're dumping is because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still having some choppy price action, so pretty much Bitcoin is dragging the entire altcoin market down with it. And also ICP has recently touched a key resistance zone. We got recently rejected, so we are dumping back towards the downside. However, in my opinion, this is nothing to worry about, because if we zoom out for ICP, you can see that there is this white trend line for the Internet Computer ICP price, which is pretty good, because in history we have been holding this level pretty well actually for ICP. You can see that the price has been respecting this level, this trend line, by consecutively forming higher lows for the price. So I believe that in the next couple of hours for ICP, we could see the price continue to dump towards the downside until we touch this key level right here, which is the trend line. And I'm expecting that with a high probability we could see ICP bounce off of this white trend line, since we have done so multiple times in history. So that increases the likelihood of us bouncing off of this trend line. Now, in case we see ICP lose hold of this trend line, there is another support level just lying below it right here at $11, where we could expect ICP to also bounce off of. So there's nothing to worry about. The structure still looks intact in my personal opinion for ICP. And for the general markets, my opinion for the general markets is that there is essentially nothing to worry about if you are invested in good coins. If you are invested in high utility coins with a good community backing it up, there is pretty much nothing to worry about, because I'm also invested into good coins. I have high conviction in my holds. So I believe that what we're seeing right now for all coins is normal. We need these phases in the markets where pretty much everything is dumping down, because this may be the last opportunity to scoop up on these levels right here on good altcoins. So to me, this is just another opportunity, and I would just sit on spot and chill essentially. Also, a quick word from today's sponsor, Cryptonomy. Now, if you're wondering what Cryptonomy is, they are a venture fund who has supported over 100 projects already, and they are actively engaging in the Launchpool, which I participate in. If any of you are startup owners seeking investments for your projects, you can apply for funding from Cryptonomy by simply clicking on the Get Funding button. Also, as promised last time, I would be updating you guys with my earnings from my flexible deposits. So here they are. For Bitcoin, we have earned about $5.4, while for USDT, we have earned about $12.5. Your accrued interest is credited in the accrued interest section, and it's automatically paid by Cryptonomy to your wallet on the first day of each month. So as an example, you will receive your October earnings on November 1st. So right now, I would be opening another new fixed deposit for Bitcoin, ICP, and USDT, which would be good for 6 to 12 months. What's nice about fixed staking is that it's more profitable than flexible staking. You also have the option to enable the monthly interest feature when creating a fixed deposit, which will allow you to receive monthly earnings from your fixed deposit. But keep in mind that this will reduce your overall earnings due to turning off compounding. But for some users, this may be a better choice compared to flexible staking. So we click on continue, then create. Now we're going to be doing one for ICP, and then for USDT. There we go. So as you guys can see, here are the deposits that we have made so far, and our deposits are already generating us daily profits, which I think is pretty cool, and it is visible in the accrued interest indicator for each deposit. Now this is the company's launch pool, and right here you can see the past events that have occurred. We even have some crazy ROIs here, like this one which did a 14x return. Now here is my contract and how much I'm currently earning from this contract, which is pretty sick. So in general, I think that it's a pretty solid platform, and if you're interested in trying it out, the links are in the description of this video. I believe now is a good time for venture fund activities as the market is poised for growth. They also have an exceptional customer support where users can always reach out for quick answers to any questions or assistance when needed. And that's for today's sponsor. And I'm not getting shaken out right now because I believe that one of the biggest bull runs is still about to come for Bitcoin, and getting shaken out at these levels is pretty foolish in my personal opinion. Obviously not financial advice, but that is how I'm playing the game right now. I am using this time to research on good altcoins and load up on this dip. But for ICP, still looking good. There is still one major concern I have for ICP though, and let me talk about this with you guys right now. That one major concern I have is this potential head and shoulders pattern formation, which is a bearish reversal pattern. So this is kind of concerning because, again, as you guys can see, it looks like we could be forming the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder right here. So the moment we do see ICP break below this neckline, that could be where things start to turn for the worse. And the targets, let's look out for the targets right here. Let's measure the head and shoulders pattern. Now the pattern is saying that if we do break below the neckline, we are going to be targeting a dump towards the downside to the price target of around $8.65. So look out for $8.6 as the target for this head and shoulders pattern. Now obviously I'm not saying that this will play out. What I'm trying to say right now is this is definitely something interesting to look out for. I'm not saying that we're going to be dumping soon. What I'm trying to say right now is we must also talk about the possible bearish scenarios in the future, and that is that we have spotted this head and shoulders pattern, which is a bearish pattern. You know, take this as a grain of salt, but this is definitely something interesting to look out for and to be prepared for in case it does happen. At least you guys are now prepared for this, but I'm not guaranteeing that we're going to be dumping in the future, but it's just something interesting to look out for and to prepare for in case things start to turn for the worse. Look out for this pattern right here. Now let's move to the weekly time frame. Sorry for spending much time on that, but now let's talk about the weekly time frame and discuss my current outlook for the Internet Computer ICP price. So in general, the structure still looks good, to be honest with you. We have been consolidating for quite some time now for ICP. Since the month of January, we have been moving sideways, consecutively putting in higher lows, so the structure still looks good. I believe that if Bitcoin starts to recover, when Bitcoin starts to recover, pretty much every other altcoin out there will also start to recover, and that includes ICP. And I believe that higher prices are still primed for ICP, and our next target essentially is at $23 for the next leg towards the upside. Once we do successfully break above resistance right here, we're going to be moving to $23, and then we have $36 right after, and then $54, and then $81. So these are the targets we have for the bull run for ICP. Keep in mind that these targets are not final yet. I'll be adjusting them respectively as the bull run continues. So in general, there is nothing to worry about, and I am not going to get shaken out on my altcoin positions at this moment, because I believe that still we are going to be going through one of the biggest cycles for life. And if you're serious about making life-changing wealth in this market, it's time to stop doing this alone. You need a group of people, you need that network of people who would supply you with value, who would supply you with information, and who will help you spot opportunities in this market. And that can only be accessed in my private networking group over in Discord. This is called the Swan Group, where I release weekly market insights and updates. The reason why our members are growing rapidly is because all we do is provide value with one another and help each other elevate in this market. So if you're not in this group yet, you are missing out. So be sure to join through the link in the description and act now.